We've got big news to talk about here today. First, Smoke is going to be returning to the high banks of Daytona. He's going to be flying around that track in the Truck Series, and the chase is back. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Talking NASCAR. I'm your host, Andrew. Hope you're having a great start to your week. We've got some big news to talk about here, like I just said. And if you didn't understand what I said in the first part of that intro, don't worry, you will in just about a second. But first, before we get to that, we have some other news in the Truck Series. First, Luke Baldwin has announced that he has signed a part-time schedule with Team Rayum. He'll be driving the number 2 truck part-time. He'll be one of the many drivers, I believe, that will be rotating in that truck throughout the season. Luke Baldwin, I actually thought would be a guy that could be tabbed as a potential replacement to fill a full-time spot for Matt Crafton over at ThorSport, another Ford team. He had a part-time schedule last year with ThorSport in the 66 truck. He was kind of sharing that ride with Johnny Sauter this past season. So ThorSport still has a truck open, but I imagine they're going to find a replacement for that seat. And maybe, who knows, Luke Baldwin may fill out the rest of his schedule, maybe by making some starts for ThorSport this upcoming season. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But Luke Baldwin heading over to Team Rayum. He'll be driving for that team in the number 2 truck part-time throughout this season. Luke Baldwin, by the way, is the son, or one of the sons actually, of former NASCAR team owner Tommy Baldwin Jr. And crew chief Tommy Baldwin Jr. And Tommy Baldwin Jr., I'm pretty sure now is a higher up in NASCAR in the sanctioning body right now. So cool to see the Baldwin still sticking around in NASCAR. Real quick before I move on, I want to touch on Cletus McFarland real quick, otherwise known as Garrett Mitchell, but known as Cletus McFarland online. Cletus McFarland recently was partaking in a ARCA test at Daytona, where he announced that he will be running 5 races throughout the season, most likely in the ARCA Menard Series, driving for Rhett Jones Racing in the number 30 Ford Mustang. Cool story to hear Cletus McFarland getting back out there once again. And in that latest YouTube video that he did post, he actually discussed that he was potentially thinking about quitting, chasing his dreams of potentially making the Daytona 500 in NASCAR, maybe giving up his professional stock car driving career after the passing of Greg Biffle only a month ago, actually. So it was a very rough time for Cletus McFarland, as I can imagine. So, I mean, Greg Biffle was traveling with his family to go see and kind of hang out with Cletus McFarland on Christmas Eve. It was tragic that Greg Biffle lost his life, and I'm pretty sure I imagine it had a very huge impact on Cletus McFarland, knowing that he was coming to see him. So, but it is a good thing to hear that Cletus McFarland is continuing on to chase his dreams. And one of the things that he kind of mentioned was that one thing that went through his mind is, what would the Biff do? What would Greg Biffle want him to do? And Greg Biffle was apparently the one that helped kind of kickstart his career in the ARCA Menard Series and get the ball rolling for him. So I imagine that was a huge emotional moment for him, especially knowing that Greg Biffle was the one that helped him get started. And on the back of his car, actually, I believe it was said something on the back of his car. Actually, it was like, "We're doing this for the Biff," or something like that. I actually can't remember exactly what it was. I'm actually gonna go look at that real quick. Okay, I just found it. It says "Be like Biff" on the back of his car. So yeah, it's very cool. I'm glad to see that Cletus McFarland is still chasing this dream. He's a very cool, very different personality in NASCAR, and like at least the world of stock car racing, that we need in the sport. And it's glad to see that he's doing this for a good cause. He's doing this in honor of Greg Biffle. He's very close with him, so glad to see Cletus is still continuing this journey. Wishing him the best of luck throughout the season, and we'll see how he can do in his few ARCA Menard Series starts. Maybe, potentially he can make a start for Ram. You never know. I mean, there's still some rumors floating around that he might be a candidate for that free agent truck that Calling Racing has going right now. Speaking of the Calling free agent truck, we had some major breaking news today out of Calling Racing and Ram. It was announced that Tony Stewart, 3-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, will be returning to the seat of NASCAR, getting behind the wheel of the number 25 truck for Calling Racing and Ram, and he will be partaking in the Truck Series opener at Daytona coming up in February. This is huge news. I mean, Tony Stewart will be returning to the team after returning to the sport, excuse me, after leaving his stake in Stewart Haas Racing and kind of dissolving that team back in 2024 and focusing on drag racing with Dodge. And after Dodge announced and Ram and Dodge announced they would be returning to NASCAR, there was always some rumors floating around that maybe Tony Stewart would be a guy to be involved with this process, and he's back. And he seemed uh, maybe not more enthusiastic than I've ever seen him in a kind of teaser video for Tony Stewart. But cool to see Tony Stewart back in NASCAR. And it's also very funny that he's making this announcement after NASCAR announced a change to the championship series points format, because he was obviously not a fan of the playoff system. We'll get to that in just a second, but I find that kind of funny. But regardless, glad to see Tony Stewart back. As far as expectations, I mean, there's probably nothing out there. It's just probably to put a big name in that seat and get some seat time and see how he can do. But I now will be 100% for sure tuning into that Truck Series race at Daytona, because I am 100% excited. And I think this will be Tony Stewart's first Truck Series race since 2005, I'm pretty sure. So both he and Jimmy Johnson will be making Truck Series starts this year. That is insane to think about. Both at the over the age of 50. That is incredible to hear. So yeah, good luck to Tony Stewart. Glad to hear that he's back in NASCAR. And I'm really wondering now who Ram and Calling will be putting in that number 25 free agent truck throughout this entire season in the Truck Series. But now let's go ahead and move on to the really big news. On Monday, yesterday, January 12th at about 2:30, NASCAR held a conference to announce the new championship format for the upcoming season and beyond, and NASCAR revealed they will be returning to the 10 race chase that was used back from 2004, I believe, all the way up into until 2014, and then following that, the playoffs were introduced. So my first reaction to this was, wow, that is huge. One of the big things that they are eliminating with this chase format is the win in your end style, where if a driver wins a race in the NASCAR Cup Series during the regular season, they are automatically in. They're eliminating stage points and all those points that kind of carry over. More so playoff points, I should correct myself. They're eliminating playoff points, and this will mostly, all the points that will be earned will funnel back to driver points, more so in the chase standings. There will be no eliminations throughout the playoffs, no specific rounds, just 10 races all out to the end of the regular season, or to the end of the season, where it will end at Homestead Miami Speedway in November this upcoming year. Yeah, I'm really in huge favor of this. So just to lay out kind of the basics of the chase system for anyone who doesn't know what that is, and for me, I didn't know what that was for a little bit of time as a NASCAR fan, like a fairly new NASCAR fan, but I understand it now more clearer than ever. So first off, I just mentioned that when you're in is gone, no playoff points overall. It's just drivers' points as overall throughout the regular season. And one of the big things that they are adding is to incentivize winning is that race wins count for more points. Instead of 40 points like they have been in the past couple seasons, drivers will now earn 55 points for winning races. So overall, through the course of a race with still stages being in existence, a driver can earn up to the max of, I'm pretty sure it is uh, 75 points in a single race for sweeping the stages and getting the race win. I believe that is the most amount of points that a team can earn. And this will help ensure that teams will be more consistent and maybe change the game plans a little bit, where a driver just can't simply win their way into the playoffs, and they have to be consistent over the course of the season. On that note, it will still be the same amount of drivers making the chase. It will be the top 16 drivers in points at the end of the first 26 races in the NASCAR Cup Series season. For the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, it will be 12 drivers like it is currently now. And then in the Craftsman Truck Series, it will be 10 like it is right now. No eliminations, just all out to the end of the season, all ending at Homestead, Miami. Very similar to what the chase is right now with the Cup Series. And one other big thing that is added is that there will be no regular season champion for the top driver at the end of the regular season, so no bonus points are awarded. However, the top driver will receive a 25-point addition over the second seed. So these are the points that will be set after the first 26 races end for all three series. And if you're in the Truck Series or the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, you're just cutting off the 16th, 15th, 14th, 12th, 11th drivers if you're the Truck Series, and then 13th on down if you're in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. So the first seed for all three series will receive 2,100 points. Second place will receive 2,075 points. Third place, 2,065 points. Fourth place, 2,060 points. Fifth place 2,055 points. Sixth place, 2,050 points. Seventh, 2,045. Eighth, 2,040. Ninth, 2,035. 10th, 2030. 11th, 2025, the year we just left. 11th, 2020. 13th, 2015. 14th, 2010, the year I was born. 15th, 2005. And 16th, 2000. Again, if you're in the lower series, you're eliminating either 13th through 16th or 11th through 16th for the Truck Series and the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, respectively. And real quick, just to be clear, those are the points that will be reset to every single driver beginning at the beginning of the 12, or excuse me, the 10 races leading to the end of the end of the season. So those will be the points not added on to the driver's current total points, but that's what they will be set to at the beginning of the chase. So there you go. That's kind of like your quick little breakdown of the chase. And again, I've said that I liked it. I was hoping that NASCAR would be going back to a system that would reward consistency more and eliminate the more importance of winning that has been established in NASCAR now with Winning You're In and Austin Dillon wrecking drivers for wins. I doubt we're going to see that more, but it's still. But I do agree with that the chase still keeping the importance of winning is still very good. You're adding more points to it. You're awarding 55 points, which is extremely massive to a team overall, like especially a bubble team if they're trying to get into the playoffs, because 16 is a very big field, and we've seen those bubble battles get very tight towards the end of the season, and new winners have kind of messed that up overall, and it kind of eliminates the bubble battles, but I think this will really help those bubble battles really emerge, and then you'll have obviously the most consistent drivers really emerge themselves and really break away from themselves from the pack, and that's where the superstars will form, which is what NASCAR has really been missing over the last couple of years. This will also help make sure that every race is important, that you can't just take a race off if you win. You just can't like be hanging at the back of the field and not trying. You have to be consistent, which is huge. And then you get a larger sample size for the championship. No one winner takes all championship for at Phoenix anymore, which is huge for me. I mean, we saw how that format really hurt Kyle Larson's championship. It made it feel less legitimate, even though he was overall the driver that would have scored the most points out of anyone in the championship four at that moment. And I'm not the only one that is in support of this, or at least happy that this is returning. I mean, Mark Martin, a guy that seems like he really spearheaded this campaign for the chase to return, spoke at the press conference held yesterday at 3 o'clock. Steve O'Donnell spoke, and into today, many people in NASCAR have expressed their support of this. I know Chase Elliott was very much in support of this. He actually kind of challenged NASCAR fans, saying, like, telling guys, like, hey, we got this. We got what we wanted. Let's just enjoy this. Like, see what we can make out of it. Joey Logano also spoke about this. Jimmy Johnson, a guy that won several championships under the chase, was very much in support of this. So, for at least from what I've seen, at least in the past 24 hours of this announcement going out, is that many people are in favor of this, and I'm finding few people, if anything, that are not happy about the chase returning, and I am one of those people that are happy that the chase is returning. Now, do I think that this is the perfect format or the format that NASCAR should stick to? I don't know. I really don't know. This is something that we are going to have to kind of feel out throughout the course of the season, and we're going to have to really find out once the chase actually starts. But this makes me excited, though. It's just really going to reveal how much this is working once the chase begins and once this season is over, because we have no idea how this is going to work out over the course of a full season. We still got at least a month, or a little under a month actually, until the first race, the Daytona weekend, the Speed Weeks weekend. We have the Clash coming up in a couple weeks, which is always very exciting. So at the bare minimum, this is a format that is not the playoff system. Winning you're in is gone. It's all really good. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, and we'll just have to wait and see if this is truly the best format for a champion to be crowned in. But you guys are gonna have to let me know down in the comments what you think about the chase coming back into play. If you are excited about it, if you're sad the playoff format is gone, and if you are, I suggest that you go see medical attention because I don't know how you can possibly think that. Or if you're still in favor of a more full season points format. So let me know down in the comments. But I'm very excited though that the chase is back, and thank goodness that the playoffs and winning you're in are gone. Now, to end this episode, I actually want to do something that I've been wanting to do for a little bit of time, actually, which is go over my favorite Cup Series paint schemes from 2025. I feel this is a little bit overdue. I've been wanting to do this pretty much since New Year. And you guys are going to have to let me know if I should do the O'Reilly Auto Parts series from 2025, if I should do the truck series. Let me know down in the comments. I'd be willing to look into those and making a little bit of an episode out of it. But I'm just going to go over my favorite schemes. I kind of went through every single team's kind of inventory on jski.com, which are very helpful with providing all the images of these schemes. So big shout out to them for getting all those schemes and getting all those pictures. So I'm just going to go over all of them, starting with Trackhouse Racing overall, because I found that pretty much all like the groupings of these schemes were really good. First off, the Wendy's Frosty schemes that both Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez ran this year were all really, really cool. I mean, they were very colorful. They kind of made me think like, "Oh yeah, that's a Frosty car." I really, really like that partnership between Trackhouse and Wendy's. It was a really slick design, and same with Shane Van Gisbergen's Wendy's scheme that he ran at Bristol with, I believe it was the Baconator on the side of his car. I can't exactly remember, but that car looked really, really cool. Kind of the gradient they had with the sunset and the purples, the reds. Something about that made it look really, really cool. So I really like that scheme as well from Shane Van Gisbergen. I liked his Red Bull scheme as well. I like Connor Zilich's Red Bull scheme as well. I thought it was really sweet as well. And I also liked the blackout choice privileges hotels scheme that Ross Chastain drove this year. I think Daniel Suarez did as well. I can't exactly remember. I did also like Daniel Suarez's freeway insurance scheme that he ran at Phoenix for his final race, the Thank You Daniel scheme. Definitely a little bit of a kind of a weird, like mixed messages kind of scheme. I'm not gonna lie, but it was still a really cool scheme. I like that it was kind of honoring Daniel's heritage. I did like Daniel Suarez's scheme that I believe he ran in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series for, uh, or at least he had planned to run for the Xfinity series at Mexico City for Junior Motorsports until he wrecked and had to use a backup car with no decals on it. But that's besides the point. And then finally, Trackhouse's like plain Trackhouse brand schemes that they ran at the Clash last year between Shane Van Gisbergen, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Ross Chastain. I thought those were all really, really clean. I kind of like those designs. They're very simple, but yet they're really eye-catching. They're something that we don't see very often with these teams having their own brands in the car, besides like Hendrick Motorsports having HendrickCars.com. But I thought those were really clean as well. Moving on, Noah Gregson's Rush Truck Center's car that he ran with Front Row Motorsports this year wasn't on track very much, albeit it was very good though. I have like the Rush Truck Center's car. They went back to the more orange and red design as opposed to that plain like gray design that he ran and Chase Briscoe ran last year in 2024. I say last year, but it was more 2 years ago. But I really like that scheme. Like it was one of the few bright spots that Noah Gregson had in a pretty abysmal season. Moving on to Kyle Busch, I liked his 7-Eleven scheme that he ran. I thought that was a really cool one that he ran at Texas, and I also liked his Slurp scheme that he ran at the Chicago Street Race. It was very colorful. Kind of remind me almost of Kyle Busch's M&M schemes. A little bit more color to his schemes because I mean he's driving a black Rebel Bourbon car or a kind of like brown Cheddar's car, and like his schemes that were colorful though were very, very cool. I will say that. So I did like those schemes for Kyle Busch. Chase Elliott's Amazon Prime car was one of my favorites throughout the year. Like that baby blue color that Prime has with the simple gradient. I really like that overall as well. Denny Hamlin's progressive car, again, similar blue color with the big P on the hood, was very, very good. I felt like it was really cool. And then Denny Hamlin's King's Hawaiian scheme for Atlanta, I thought was really cool. Shame he wrecked out, but that orange looked really cool out on track under the lights. It was one of the best schemes that I feel like throughout this entire season. That probably is actually in my top 10 because I know I got more than 10 schemes on here for sure. Same with Chase Elliott's Amazon Prime, Noah Gregson's or the Wendy schemes, the Wendy Frosky schemes are definitely up there. I liked Ryan Blaney's advanced auto parts scheme, the blackout scheme, the one he won the race in at Daytona to end the regular season. I thought that scheme was really, really cool. Under the lights, it looks really nice. Chris Buescher's Cinnamon Toast Crunch car in conjunction with Kroger, I thought was really cool as well. I don't know if it's exactly my top 10 because it seems a little bit random, but it's a very fun design. I'll give you that. I did like that car as well. For Christopher Bell, I did like his Craftsman scheme that he ran, I believe, at the Chicago Street Race. I thought that I like his Craftsman schemes a lot. I really do. I don't know what it is, but I really like Craftsman schemes overall. And then I liked his Mobile One car as well. I believe he ran that only a couple times, but I thought they were really cool as well. Mobile One did a really good job this year. The 2311 racing cars, though, were very underwhelming. I will say that. Joey Logano, I liked his Shell Pennzoil scheme. It was the one we saw pretty much out on track all the time. I thought it was pretty solid. I'm glad they went back to the red front fenders. I thought those were really sweet as well. Kind of going back to that design, the one that he kind of ran in the mid 2010s. I thought that was a really good design, excuse me. I don't know what design is. Bubba Wallace, any of his Columbus schemes were really cool. Columbia usually puts out some really good schemes every single year, but they're always really good. I also liked his and Corey Haim's Robin Hood schemes. Like, they're very weird colors. I'll give you that. They're black and kind of like this neon green, but I really like the simple design. Something about that green I really, really like. I don't know what it is, but I really like that Robin Hood scheme. I don't know what it is, but I just really liked it. The Lido Space Force scheme that Bubba Wallace ran a couple times throughout the year, I thought was really, really nice as well. Very creative as well, going with the Space Force too. And then speaking of the Special Forces in the United States, the U.S. Air Force schemes that he ran, the fighter jet cars that Bubba ran, I thought those were really cool as well. So good job for 2311 Racing. Besides those Mobile One cars and the Chumba Casino cars, ugh, those were not good. But these were good. William Byron, Daytona 500 champion, his Exalta scheme that he won in this year, way better than the 2024 scheme. I'll just say that right off the rip. Love the flames, love the red, love the blue. Looked really, really clean. Love that car. Cole Custer, his Andy's Frozen Custard card. Like, it's something that we've seen for a while now, but I really like. I personally just love Culver's Frozen Custard, but anything like it, the blue is very cool. I like the yellow, I like the red. It's a scheme that, like, I don't know what it is, but it really makes me happy. Like, I like seeing that out on track. I don't know what it is, but I just really like Cole Custer's Andy Frozen Custard scheme. John Hunter Nemechek, his Mobile One car was probably the best Mobile One car. Plus, they had an ad that was going on the screen probably about every 5 seconds. So I was kind of forced to look at it, but it was still really clean. Love the gradient under the number, like that kind of shadow. It looked really cool. Kind of definitely reflected the commercial they had. But yeah, I really like that 42 Mobile One scheme. It was really nice. Eric Jones's Ziploc car that he ran at Phoenix to end the year, kind of random. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see that partnership coming, but I like the blue, the petty blue, or maybe not petty blue, but I like that blue they had on that car, and it just looked really nice as well. Speaking of Tyler Reddick, his Jordan brand cars were really cool this year. Specifically, his Homestead Miami scheme was really, really nice, very colorful. It's very simple, yet nonetheless, like, it has a lot of colors on there, but not a lot going on besides all the colors. But I think that really made it really nice. Ty Gibbs Sonic car in conjunction with Grillo's Pickles. I don't know what pickles are. With Grillo's Pickles, I guess the O's came from Grillo's. Anyway, those Sonic and Grillo's Pickles cars, like, that was really cool. I like that blue again. Like, I'm a big fan of that kind of blue shade. I really like that blue. It looked really, really nice. I'm not gonna lie. It was a good partnership. It looked like a good scheme. Something different from his just plain Monster Energy scheme. I really like Ty Gibbs' Sonic scheme. Michael McDowell, I liked his DePaul University car, one he ran at Chicago Street Race. Again, I like that blue, that red really felt really cool. Kind of connected with the city. His tie car that he ran at the end of the year at Phoenix, again, is clean. You guys get that joke? I hope you guys get that joke because that was probably one of my worst ones out throughout the year. And then his race for the Rock scheme that he ran at Martinsville earlier in the year, I thought was really nice. It was just a very plain scheme. Like, you'll notice that on my list are a lot of plain schemes. You won't find a lot of, like, complicated ones. But I did like Race the Rock, same weekend or actually it was a couple weekends before the Rockingham Speedway was ran on by the Truck Series and O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. But still, very simple scheme. I really liked it nonetheless. The black and kind of white and red, it looked really good. I'm kind of a personal fan. I like the contrasting colors. I like the contrasting black and white. I really like that. Carson Nosvar, I liked his chili schemes. Like all the chili schemes overall were really good. I feel like this chilies really fit Hocevar more, not Justin Haley all that much, just in my opinion. And then his Gamebridge 100th anniversary car that he almost won in at Michigan, I thought was really cool. That gold is very interesting. You don't see that very much, but I did like that Gamebridge car. I already talked about Shane Van Gisbergen. Now we can move on to some part-time cars. Almost done here. Justin Allgaier, his Traveler Whiskey number 40 that he ran with Junior Motorsports, I thought was really nice. They're actually kind of changing up the font this year, which I personally don't hate, but I really like the scheme that they had back in 2025. I really like that one. JJ Yaley with NY Racing, a team that showed up actually a lot and had a couple good schemes. Like I like the Fanatics one that JJ Yaley ran a couple times. I don't know how they got Fanatics to sponsor them. I really don't. But PCNY was the scheme that really caught my eye. I think he ran it at Kansas a couple times. I think he ran it as well at Homestead. Very colorful. I don't know what PCNY is. I really don't. But I thought that scheme was very colorful. That's like one of the schemes that is complicated, but I do like it. That's one of the things I do like. I kind of like the colorfulness of it overall. Bad race car, but good design overall. And then same with Brennan Poole's number 44, Members First Credit Union car that he ran at Pocono. I again very colorful, bad car, but still really fun design and really colorful. So I did really like that. Anthony Alfredo for Beard Motorsports, his Dude Wipes, the one he ran at Talladega late in the year, with the kind of purple pink stuff on the door. Like I thought that was really cool. I was expecting a blue logo more, but I do like the pink on that car. And then Jesse Love, his C4 Energy car that he ran at Indianapolis for the Brickyard 400 with Beard Motorsports. That blue again, that blue and black kind of fits really well. I don't know what it is, but those colors just really go well together in my opinion. I really like those. BJ McLeod, his Pigeon Force coaster. Personally, probably not one of my favorites, but I'm just a huge supporter of BJ McLeod, and at least he got a sponsor for his car, and it's a very cool name, Pigeon Force Coaster. That's very fun. And again, that kind of neon yellow number was really cool. But it was a basic black scheme, so like that's probably the worst. This is probably the worst scheme out there, but I did like that overall. And then Jimmy Johnson, the last one, his 500 career start Carvana car that he ran at the Coca-Cola 600. Thought I'd throw that on here. It's Jimmy's 500 career start. It was pretty good, but he's going for 501 at Daytona coming up in a couple of weeks with Carvana on the door once again. So there you go. Those are my top paint schemes of the 2025 Cup Series roster. Let me know down in the comments if I should do the O'Reilly Auto Parts series or the Truck series or both. So let me know down in the comments if I should do more paint scheme reviews from 2025. And yeah, just let me know down in the comments what you think. And let me know down in the comments as well what you think of the new, I guess not new, the chase being added back into use for the NASCAR championship point system. But that'll wrap it up for today's episode, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you will have a great rest of your week. If you did enjoy this episode, please follow the show. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, follow the show so you never miss another upload. If you're listening on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really help me out. And if you want to listen to my other show that I do, Talking Sports with Miles and Andrew, you can find links to those on YouTube and Spotify down in the description down below. And if you want to listen to the Spotify version or the YouTube version, links will be down there below as well. So go check out Talking Sports as well. Follow this show as well. Subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next episode that I do. So have a great rest of your week, everyone. And I will see you very, very soon. Take care.